Hey friends, my name is Jen. Welcome to the very first episode of my new podcast, Savor by Grace. Yay! Cue the confetti, cause I did it. Call to spend wisely, sow generously, and save intentionally. Honey, I'm a saver by grace. Savor by grace. Cue the confetti. Psh, I did it. And all by God's grace, all a part of his plan. So with that said, let's dive right in, shall we? I feel like most people want to save money. Yeah, because I do. And what's the one thing we all have to spend money on, but also want to save some coins in the process? I mean, honestly, there are so many answers to this question that I could write a whole list, especially with the way today's economy is going. But for today's educational purpose, we're going to say that the answer to the $1 million question is, drumroll please, grocery shopping. Now, before we can even go shopping, we need to know what we're working with. So step one, write it down, create the budget. Sit down, examine your finances, and create a budget that works for you. Questions to consider. On average, how much do you spend on groceries monthly? Is it practical? Does this number need to be decreased? Does it require an increase? This step is really going to require you to deep dive into your finances. View the debit and credit card statements. Take inventory of all the cash flowing in and out of your wallet. Don't start with what you want to spend. Don't say, I want to spend $100. Before you can do that, you need to learn what the magic number is that you actually have been spending. This way you can determine to either cut the cost or take advantage of a possible golden gap. So at this moment in time, the budget that I've set for my family of 6 is $150 weekly. And this is only for groceries. It's not inclusive of toiletries, paper goods, and other non-edible necessities. For those, I actually coupon at Walgreens, aka WAGs. If you want me to create a video explaining how I do that, that would be fun. Comment below WAGs and I can put that in the works maybe. So I have not been the best steward over my finances. I've always acknowledged that money has value, but unfortunately leaning towards the world's view versus biblical principles really kind of skewed my perception of wealth. But some years back, I decided a change needed to be made. And I committed to changing my mindset and habits surrounding all things finance. But I keep reverting back to old habits. And it wasn't until I really got into my word and prayed for wisdom and started being obedient that I started to see real transformation. So for budgeting, I started using the 50-30-20 rule. 50% goes to necessities, 30% to fun and entertainment, and 20% towards any saving or investing. And I can actually give you an example of what this looks like. Disclaimer though, I prefer to do my budget bi-weekly, which means I literally do check per check because it's salaried, so I know how much I'm getting per check without overtime. But you do what works for you, boo-boo. Okay, here we go. Y'all meet my girl Coco. Coco is a supervisor that makes $3,300 per check or $6,600 a month net income. This is the amount of money that she's taking home after taxes. If we break it down, 50% is $1,650. This column is the column designated for reoccurring, almost never changing expenses such as a mortgage or rent, life insurance, phone bills, car notes, car insurance. Everything that you know is going to stay the same and is a necessity will most likely go into this column. Personally, I put my tithes in this column. 30%, that's $990. In this column, Coco is using her money to eat out, self-care, maintenance, fun for the kids, movie nights, family nights, excursions, vacations, everything you can think of that is fun and entertainment goes into this column. 20%, $660, gives her a nice little wiggle room to do down payment savings, which we're putting in a high yield savings account as she saves for her new home, mutual funds, single stocks, all things saving and investing goes into this column. So now that we know how it works, okay, let me say this. I go over budget sometimes. I'm not going to hold you. I go over. I do. But on my really good shopping days, my coupons and my stockpile, they be working overtime for me, baby. Y'all can't tell me nothing. The goal is to always come in at or under budget. Like at or under. But the truth is, this is why having a cushion is so important. Any leftover money that I have, I save it in my grocery budget envelope, and then on the days that I go over, it's all good because it's like I didn't have to scramble and pull it from somewhere else. I didn't have to transfer from different accounts. I had that little cushion, so all my dollars are accounted for. So remember that. On the flip side, there have been times where I set like a short-term goal and use the leftover excess as a sinking fund. A sinking fund is a simple way to set aside money for expected upcoming expenses. For example, let's say my girl Coco has an upcoming family vacay in August. She wants to spend a little extra on excursions and entertainment or pictures. Photo ops are the thing now, guys. So from January to August, any excess funds left over when she's shopping goes into that sinking fund. For the month of January, she saves $20 for the sinking fund. Week 2, she saves $5. Week 3, $0. Week 4, a whopping $50. The total for January is $75 to be set aside for the vacay sinking fund. The process will repeat from February to July or up until the week before her trip. Now, disclaimer. I repeat, do not recommend option 2 for my not so disciplined yet friends, because this will require you to not go over budget at all. Like, you cannot go over. So I suggest starting with saving the overflow, building your savings muscle, and then flexing it with the sinking fund after. Brings us to the next point. Step 2, scouting the circulars. I can literally hear some people saying, what in the world is a circular? Trust me, you know what it is. You just don't know that you know what it is. These are circulars, aka store sale advertisements. Just about every supermarket or retailer uses them. It displays all the sales for the week so that we go to the stores and spend. Which we are. But they don't know we have a plan to get the most for less. I still get circulars in the mail. From the small local mom and pop shops to the big well-known retailers. I get them every week faithfully. However, period, I have now gone digital. I have so many apps from all the stores that I frequently shop. It's ridiculous. But I could show you right now. This on my phone is the ShopRite app. Okay? I can find literally the same circular that they put in my mailbox here, plus coupons. I can add online orders. It's a lot of stuff. We'll get into it later. Now, with that being said, these circulars do not mean much if you are not signed up for the store's loyalty rewards programs. When they ask you to put your telephone number in at the register, most stores only extend these special sales to their rewards members. Once you've signed up, you put your number in, possibly even the email, depending on the store, and then the savings automatically deducted at the register or online at checkout, if you're ordering through the app. That's it. My favorite part about the rewards are the perks. Not only do I get the sale prices, but being a rewards member gives me the ability to clip coupons to my account. Y'all remember back when, I'm saying it like I'm old and I'm dead not, but so much has changed. Back when you could get the paper coupons and cut or clip them. Y'all remember that? This is the same concept, but now it's just digital. You can clip your coupons to your card or your account with one click. Keep in mind the same rules apply. One coupon per this number of specified products via the size, the flavor, the brand, whatever it is. And the max use is usually 1 to 4 per card. I ain't gonna hold you. I have to admit, this one took me a long time to get. In fact, I'm really still trying to be disciplined with it. I'm on week 6 doing good. Which is why y'all are here. Y'all gonna hold me accountable. But I cannot express to you, though, how much freedom I experience in the week, not having to think about what I'm going to make for dinner. Okay. So my hack, the latest hack that I use is ChatGPT. Like, I literally take pictures of the circular, screenshot it, I drop it in ChatGPT using the circulars, and I say, give me a menu from Monday to Sunday, breakfast, dinner, snacks, as well as lunch for the weekend for a family of 6 on a $150 budget. Boom. It breaks it down in under 30 seconds. Like, I take that and I cross-examine it with, like, what my kids like and don't like with the food, and, like, I tweak it until I'm satisfied. Sometimes I even give it more details, like, I already have beef, chicken wings, and bread. Like, now go from there. I also tell it to, like, list the page number that it found it in the circular, plus the price, the sale price that it is. Y'all, it literally lists everything and then gives me the total at the end. What? Like, shout out to Josh. Shout out to my son Josh for putting me on, because ChatGPT is legit. So once I have the meal plan set for the week, like, I go back to the cart and I start adding everything. Let's just say I go back to the page and start adding everything to my cart. For you, I would say make a shopping list. Like, at this point, I have it down to a science, so I don't write a shopping list anymore, but that's something you should definitely do. Go through your fridge, your pantry, your freezer, your table, your cabinet, your stockpile, whatever, wherever you keep your food. Go through it, cross off what you already have, and then shop for the rest. Like, also use your discretion. Like, there are some instances where I already have, let's say, barbecue sauce. I don't necessarily need it, but there's such an amazing sale on it, and I know it's something my family uses daily. So I ask myself, will this sales cycle, like, will they run it back before we run out? In the summer, barbecue sauce is always on sale. Always on sale. Barbecue promotion, I could wait. But in the winter, if y'all never noticed, barbecue sauce is not selling in the winter. So I'm not going to wait. I'm going to stockpile. Proverbs 6:6-8. And I am reading from the Tony Evans Study Bible, my favorite. Go to the ant, you slacker. Observe its ways and become wise. Without leader, administrator, or ruler, it prepares its provisions in summer and gathers its food during harvest. Y'all, we are not to be overrun by greed and taking every single thing off the shelves. We're not to be engulfed by fear and buying up everything in sight. Like, God is faithful to supply every one of our needs. Instead, He has called us and commissioned us to be faithful over what He has given us, like all these blessings. Like, let's be the ants and get to work. Like, let's be the ant and get to work and start preparing for this next season. Let's gather in the harvest so that when winter comes, we're not going to be caught out here like the foolish son with nothing. Like, God has called us to be great and do great works in the earth. He blesses the hand of the hard workers. The ant is a hard worker, honey, like the hardest worker. If we want the blessings of God, I suggest we submit under the obedience of God and then get to work for God. Just saying. I urge you to listen. I urge you today to listen to His voice and be obedient when He tells you what to do. Maneuver when He tells you to maneuver. Not controlled by fear, but fashioned by His love and care for you. Even concerning such a small thing as grocery shopping. Go ahead and get started, y'all. Be blessed. Thanks so much for hanging with me, you guys. Follow me on IG, YouTube, Threads, and TikTok at Savor by Grace. Do your girl a solid. Like, comment, and definitely hit subscribe.